From Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Wednesday, January 21st. Coming up, each year, Illinois students vote on the Reader's Choice Awards for the books they loved the most. We'll hear what books topped the charts. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. Last night, over 100 people gathered to protest against ICE in downtown Champaign as part of a nationwide walkout on the anniversary of Trump's inauguration. IPM Student Newsroom's Alyssa Eaton reports.
Nobody is illegal. All power to the people. Nobody is illegal.
The bitter cold didn't stop protesters from gathering at the Champaign City building, including Samantha Summers, a senior at Central High School. She says earlier today she attended a walkout at her school, and this was her first protest.
It's just heartbreaking to see what our country has become. It's kind of become an embarrassment.
She says she came to stand up for her community.
At my school, so many of the people are from Latin America, and people have been being pulled out of my high school because their parents are scared for them and they don't want to be sent away. And it's heartbreaking to see my friends being terrified for their lives.
Another protester, Jake Rundle, is an engineer at the University of Illinois. He says this past year has been alarming to witness.
I have loved ones, friends and loved ones that are immigrants or that might appear to be immigrants, and I don't want their constitutional rights to be violated. I don't want them to live in fear.
The protest lasted about 40 minutes and was peaceful. I'm Alyssa Eaton, IPM News.
Police are investigating a shooting that damaged a school building in Champaign. It happened just before 10 a.m. on Monday near Booker T. Washington STEM Academy. Officers say no one was hurt, but students were nearby. Unit 4 says students in the gym may have witnessed a bullet shatter a window. The students were evacuated from the gym safely, and the school went into lockdown mode. Shots also hit nearby townhouses. No one has been arrested, but officers are looking for a dark-colored SUV seen leaving the area shortly after the gunfire. The Illinois House of Representatives came back to Springfield yesterday to start off this year's legislative session. House Speaker Chris Welch tells the 21st show the Democratic caucus is focused on cutting expenses for residents and countering policies from the Trump administration.
The cost of living just continues to rise under this president. And so we're in the midst of an affordability crisis. And we are going to continue to be laser focused in the Illinois legislature on doing things to bring costs down.
Welch says the legislature will advance bills to reform auto and homeowners insurance and reduce prescription drug costs. He says lawmakers may also consider changes to the SAFETY Act and additional ways to respond to ICE activity in the state. Republican Senate Minority Leader John Curran says his party also wants affordability to be front and center during this year's legislative session. Governor J.B. Pritzker is set to deliver his budget address next month. Between Market and Walnut Streets in Champaign, Taylor Street is named Honorary Mark Rubel Way. IPM Student Newsroom's Diana Jung reports the street honors a local music legend.
The late Mark Rubel's dream was to create a space where musicians and bands in the 70s and 80s could record their performances. That's according to his wife, Nancy Rubel. She says many musicians will be nervous, but Mark was able to help them give their best performance. He created Pogo Studio in downtown Champaign, which provided many musicians a feeling of home.
We called it the petting zoo. We would go out of our way to find bizarre instruments, from abroad for people to loosen up. He had a box of silly hats. So if someone was too tense to get their vocal right, he would put on a silly hat and just turn all the lights off. He would hit the record button, but not tell him, and just say, hey, just do a practice run.
Nancy says Mark's technical skills in recording and his fun interactions with people made the studio quite popular. She says Mark's legacy is long-lasting as his passion for music encouraged many to go into the industry. I'm Diana Zhang, IPM News.
This story is part of IPM's Student Newsroom's new series, Champaign's Honorary Streets, The Stories Behind the Signs. The series is rolling out now. You can catch it on air on the 217 Today podcast and find more stories from the series at ipmnewsroom.org. Still to come, what books did students in Illinois love in 2025? That story is coming up next on 217 Today, but first, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your forecast.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. Today, look for partly cloudy skies, blustery winds, and a chance of flurries with a high of 40 degrees, with the southwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy and blustery with a low of 18 degrees, northwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 30 degrees, a west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low of -2, with a west wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. And for Friday, partly cloudy and bitterly cold with a high of 5 degrees and a northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st show, it's been 1 year since President Trump returned to office. We want to know what's most stood out to you. You can call our voicemail line at 217-300-2121. That's 217-300-2121. I'm Brian Mackey. We'll talk about 1 year of President Trump next time on the 21st show. Join us at 11 a.m. on AM 580 and 6 p.m. on FM 90.9.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. Every year, Illinois students vote on the Reader's Choice Awards for the books they loved the most. Peter Medlin spoke with English teacher and award chair Nicole Folkman about the books that won in 2025.
Kindergarten through third grade is the Monarch Award, and this year the winner was There's a Ghost in This House by Oliver Jeffers. This is not, I imagine, your typical haunted house. This is spooky, but also fun and like interactive, right?
Yes. So for kids, it's really fun because it's the kind of book where they're in on the joke, but the main character is not. And they absolutely adore that. It also has this beautiful thing going on with the art where it's like vellum pages that turn. You can't see the ghost, just like the main character can't. And then you turn the page and we see the ghost. And so they love being able to like guess and imagine where the ghost is going to show up on the page. I read that with my high school students on Halloween this year, and they enjoyed it as well. We had a lot of fun.
And very cool with that, where you kind of get to control the pacing, so you're not, you control the jump scare to a degree, right?
Absolutely. And they're very cute ghosts.
Yes.
So.
And then the Blue STEM Award is chosen by students in 3rd through 5th grade. What won the Blue STEM this year?
Otter by Catherine Applegate and Charles Santoso. Catherine Applegate is the author, and Charles Santoso does the beautiful pencil sketches throughout the book. This is a novel in verse, which the students absolutely love. It's soft and gentle and beautiful, and still teaches them about the environment and how scientists learn how to best help animals.
Also at that, we do have the Rebecca Caudle Award. Can you tell us a little bit about Rebecca Caudle really quick?
Yeah, so the Rebecca Caudle Award is kind of a 4th through 8th. The winner of the Rebecca Caudle this past year was The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.
The Inheritance Games is also the first in a series of YA novels. And this is something that, again, maybe I'm not reading as many YA novels as I did when I was a YA, But
you're missing out. They're amazing.
I really am. But I thought it was fascinating because it felt, my perception was, especially the last 15, 20 years, a lot of those big YA series were very post-apocalyptic, very Hunger Games, Maze Runner, and this is not that.
No, this is much more a realistic fantasy dream world. So Avery Graham's is the random inheritor of billions of dollars from some guy she's never met and never even really heard of. And she, in inheriting the money, has disinherited all of the kids and grandkids. And it is like this wish fulfillment of what kid wouldn't want to go, oh, wait, I have more money than I can literally even spend. But there is a catch. She has to live in the house with all the disinherited family for 1 year in order to get the money. And there are puzzles and games and intrigue and drama. And it is one of my personal favorite series.
So the last up on the list, we'll finish off with the Lincoln Award, which is the Teen Readers Award. And this one, I was fascinated by what won. This one, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which I remember was a huge deal when it came out a few years ago. Jeanette McCurdy, of course, was a huge star on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And this is, again, her memoir about her relationship with her abusive mother. It's got a very, obviously, provocative title and book cover, if you've seen that one too. But, I mean, what do you make about this one winning the award this year?
It's been really interesting to me. Last year on that list and the new 2026 list both have a decent amount of adult crossover titles. So I'm Glad My Mom Died is written and marketed for adults, but it has really wonderful teen crossover appeal and is perfectly appropriate for teens as well. And they have really enjoyed it. They didn't grow up as Nickelodeon kids, like at least in the right time period for this.
Right, yeah.
But they are drawn in, like you said, by that cover, by that title, and then you start to tell them a little bit about the story and they're like, oh my gosh, and they read it and they can't put it down. Once I saw the list and started reading the books, I wasn't surprised that that one won in the end.
That was Nicole Folkman, chair of the Reader's Choice Awards, talking with Peter Medlin about the books Illinois students loved most in 2025. Find the full list and more info at ipmnewsroom.org. That's it for today. 2 and 7 Today is produced by Stephanie Oriana. Reporting today contributed by Alyssa Eaton, Peter Medlin, Reginald Hardwick, Arjun Tucker, and Diana Jung. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 2 and 7 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.